Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, hot is the word. It's so cold, wet and miserable. Now, I don't like putting the central heating on until end of October, early November, if I can get away with it, if it's warm, but it isn't, it's freezing. So, I thought, I'd love to turn the heating on, but I can't. My boiler went. And I'm waiting for a new boiler coming Monday, roll on. So to keep warm, I've had to do this. We're going to go on a little journey. Well, not really. I'm just going to turn the camera around so you can see. But look, hang on, that's the next thing. And can you see that? Got me fire. Got a fire up and running. Proper coal fire and all. Let me tell you, not mucking around. Proper coal. Now, actually, here's the thing. Just a quick aside. When they said they're stopping selling proper coal, you can still buy that smokeless rubbish, but they said no more proper coal. You know, no warmth for you, buddy. I went out and bought tons of the stuff, literally 2 tons. 2 tons of coal. I am not going cold. A lifetime supply. But it doesn't mean I like using it this early in the year. But anyway, there we go. I don't listen to their bullshit. I went out and bought it. I'm going to stay warm. Anyway, that's a great thing about living in a village, you see. You can still do that, still get coal fires and things. Anyway. Cold, to keep warm. You see, it's to keep warm. And keeping warm, and this is my segue into what I'm talking about, keeping warm is very important. Because if you don't keep warm, you open yourself up to things like infections and disease, or you can have accidents. And if it's very cold and you're very old, you end up getting hypothermia. Then you end up in hospital. And in Scotland, hospital's the last place you want to go to. On top of that, of course, poverty is also another thing, and yet 3,000 jobs at Grangemouth are going. No replacement. Oh, we'll create green jobs. You'll create no green jobs. They're going to lose 250,000 jobs in the oil and gas industry. No idea where they're going to replace them. So you're going to have all these people unemployed, and of course, it's not just them. It's because the money's not in the environment, in the area there. It's not in the local economy. Shops, restaurants, bars, cinemas, they'll all close down. More people unemployed. It's a vicious circle, and it's poverty. And it's misery. And when people are poor and miserable and cold and not eating sufficiently well, the hospitals bear the brunt. The hospitals in Scotland cannot afford to bear the brunt. They will collapse. This is not hyperbole. They will collapse. And we know this because of figures released by the SNP government showing how they have destroyed the SNP. They won't for 1 minute take responsibility. They'll blame Westminster, the Tories, Brexit, aliens. Won't be their fault. Not a chance. No, siree Bob, not their fault at all. For 17 years, they have underfunded the NHS. They have cut its funding in real terms every year. They'll tell you, we put more money in every year. But that money isn't sufficient because it isn't in line with the rate of inflation. And so therefore, real terms cuts. At the same time, nurses are leaving the profession. They're not being replaced at the same rate. Doctors are leaving and not being replaced. Or many doctors don't even want to go to Scotland because of the tax regime now. They think, why should I pay more tax? And so then to attract them, they have to offer them more money. But that takes money out of the system, less money for patient care, and so forth. It all topples like dominoes. And that's what's going to happen with hospitals in Scotland. They're going to topple like dominoes. It's already happening. A release by the Scottish Government's figures showed the worst figures ever for A&E waiting in August. Now, let's not compare. This isn't the worst August on record. It's the worst ever that just happened to happen in August before we get into winter, where it is traditionally way, way worse. So not only have we got the worst figures ever, moving into when it's going to get worse normally, but with all these job losses and things, it's going to put even more pressure because of things that happen with depression and all sorts of things. They can't cope. If you've got plans on being ill between now and whoever comes in 2026, say, when someone else comes in and starts pumping money into the NHS, go to England. You go to a Scottish hospital, your chances of dying are greatly, greatly increased. This is how bad it is. You have a government whose own policies over 17 years have failed everybody. They have failed the NHS. They are killing people. That's before you even talk about the 10,000 murders, perhaps, in the care homes during COVID. Just day-to-day shit like this. We're not in the middle of a pandemic, and it's still the worst record, and it's only August. I know it's October now, the August figures. Now, you've got Neil Gray in charge. Neil Gray shouldn't be in charge of anything. He's a man who came from the energy department, which is a very small department. It's a paper-pushing exercise, not a lot to do. And he's been thrown into the deep end at the biggest department of them all, health. And health is massive, and it's people-led, and it's, you know, you're having to go face-to-face with people. You're having to deal with real people, real lives, real deaths. And he can't handle it. He's out of his depth. Rumour is he sits in his office. He won't take phone calls. He doesn't go to hospitals anymore. He doesn't want to talk to doctors, nurses. He doesn't want to talk to health professionals. He doesn't want to talk to a lot of the people in his own department because he's scared, because every time they come to him, it's yet more doom and gloom. And he knows it's his party that have done it, but he can't say that. And so he just sits and festers away in his office. You can just imagine him, head in hands, crying, wishing for his mummy and thinking, what have I done to deserve this? Well, sunshine, you climbed the greasy pole and you found the view is awful. Well done. Resign. Now, to be fair, and I don't know why I should be, but to be fair to Neil Gray, he's not the worst health minister. You only have to look back. I mean, they'd hardly qualify any of them for the Brains Trust, would you? Obviously, before him, you had Michael the Moroccan Mauler Matheson, like to hang around in his Moroccan hotel room, iPad in his left hand, little Michael in his right hand. He used to sit and lock himself in his office as well. And but I got the impression that wasn't because of depression. I just thought, better lock the door, in case anyone comes in and catches me. Allegedly, in my view. But that's the rumour. He used to lock himself in his office. Who did you have before that? Oh, of course, our Lord and Master, the wise one, the light bulb man, Humza Yousaf. You can actually see him thinking, can't you? He's a man, he's a moron. Anyway, he was an absolute fake. 3 years, I think, wasn't it? 2.5 years he was there. Absolute failure. Before that, one of the Shipman sisters, Jean Freeman. I mean, now, you can't say she killed 10,000 people, but a lot of people are looking into it. The police are looking into it. Who was it before her? Oh, God, 86, wasn't it? Shona Robinson, health. A woman who can't count. I mean, she retarded. I think absolutely retarded. And, of course, dear, sweet little Nikki, cranky. When she was at health, people died a lot. She oversaw one of the biggest falls in funding because she was too busy looking out for Nicola and not looking out for her department. Yeah. There's a heartless woman put in charge of patient health. It's bad, isn't it? Absolutely bad. So they've had a right bunch, haven't they? And none of them have been up to the job. And as we move into winter, the already bursting at the seams NHS is literally going to run out of room. Literally. And the problem is they're going to keep these people in ambulances in car parks. There won't be an ambulance in Scotland either. They'll all be sitting in car parks. The only way out is that they start farming them out to English hospitals. It would be better for the patients, for sure. But the implications for the SNP would be politically horrific. It would show that they have failed and they don't like it. So I think they'll go the same way the Welsh do, and they'll ban patients from attending English hospitals because, hey, if the patient dies, so what? We haven't failed as a party. The SNP are killing people through their policies. There's no two ways about it. I would go so far as to say corporate murder. Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot. Bye.